Hi, this is John Martinez. We've been training sales teams for almost 2 decades now. And the types of teams we train, the types of companies that we work with are usually really successful already. They've usually been around for a little while. They've got a great reputation. They're usually selling the best product or service in their market or their industry or in their niche. And they're really, really good at what they do. But an interesting problem that they come to me with is after they reach that level of success, they sometimes start to see their sales drop off a little bit. And there's a specific reason for this. It's usually because they start presenting earlier and more than what they should or what they did in the past. And I understand why. You know, when you've worked so hard at being the best in your industry, when you've spent so much time producing and providing real results that actually help businesses and people get to wherever they want to go, it's something to be proud of. And you want to share that story as often as you can and as early as you can because it's an exciting story to share. The problem is, once you start sharing or presenting too early or too often, you usually get away from what earned you all that business to begin with. You usually lose your prospects' attention quickly, and you start to drone on and on about stuff that's really exciting to you and you feel like should be or could be exciting to your prospect, but oftentimes it just falls on deaf ears. So the solution to this problem is really just to go back to your roots. Stop presenting so much and start asking more questions, because the answers to those questions will tell you exactly what you need to present on, and that will be the time to share your stories and anything else that applies to the answers of your prospects' questions. So it reminded me of a story. This actually happened, it was probably 2 or 3 years ago, and I was working with the sales team, and I don't really do this a lot anymore personally, but I was on site training and going on sales calls with different sales reps. And we were on a sales call for a commercial piece of property, and you know, it was a pretty good piece of property. It was going to be a great deal for the investor who wanted to buy it. And I sat back and I listened to the conversation, and the salesperson and the owner of the property went back and forth for a while. He wanted to sell, we wanted to buy, but we were stuck on price, and we were talking about what other buildings in the area had sold for in the past, what was happening in the neighborhoods, businesses coming to town, and what the value of the business or that building might be in the future based on what happened around it. And you know, it turned out we were just kind of at a stalemate. We weren't going anywhere, and we were just kind of locked at that point. At that point, the salesperson just started to present, well, here's why you should sell to us. This is how good we are. This is how many buildings we've rehabbed. This is what we do for the environment. This is what we do for neighborhoods. And we completely lost the prospect at that point. None of this had anything to do with him or what he was trying to accomplish. So I stopped the sales call there, and I asked permission to step in, and I said, listen, I've got a couple of questions that I think might help us determine if there should be a next step, and if so, what that should be. Question number one is this, and the question I asked was, why are you even considering selling this? And he said, well, you know, I'm kind of getting older and I'm tired. And I said, well, when you say you're getting older and you're tired, what does that mean? And he started to share with me, and he went on for a few minutes about, you know, I think he was in his late 60s, early 70s. And to maintain the property and everything that went into it was getting pretty stressful and was pretty time consuming. And as he got up there, he was just stressed. He was tired. He was overworked. And he started telling me about how hard he's been working his whole life, and that he just felt like it was time for him, that he had earned the privilege, he had earned the right to slow down and actually enjoy life and the years he had remaining. And again, he was stressed. And I said, you know, fair enough. I completely understand. Let me ask you the next question. Where do you want to be? That life that you want, what does it look like? Does this building fit into it? Just kind of paint me that picture. And what he proceeded to tell me is, no, listen, I don't care about the buildings. I don't care about the cash flow. What I want is enough of a nest egg to know that I don't have to work again. I want enough of a nest egg to just feel a little bit of comfort. and to know I can go fishing or do whatever the heck I want, spend time with my grandkids, and that money is there if I need it. And that's really all I needed to know. So I paused there and I said, listen, here's what I think I'm hearing. Here's where you are, and here's why it's important. You're here, you're feeling this, and you don't want to feel those things anymore. Here's where you want to go. You want to feel this, you want to feel this, you don't want to have to worry about this, and you want to spend your time. Did I miss anything? He goes, no, that's it. And I said, well, if I can help you get from where you are today to where you need to be, should we move forward? He said, yeah, absolutely. That would solve what I'm trying to solve. I said, is this a big enough nest egg to feel comfortable? He said, absolutely, that would be. And I started to go over the structure of the deal and some other details that I'm not going to bore you with, especially if you're not in commercial real estate. But essentially what happened is we moved the conversation off of what different properties are worth. We stopped presenting altogether about why we were fantastic or what we could do for the neighborhood. And we got crystal clear on where's the gap in your life? Where are you versus where do you want to be? And we started to present. Now we started to present the company and what we could do in that very specific content, bridging that gap in between where he was and where he wanted to be. And now it made sense. Now it made crystal clear sense. And he goes, that solved my problem. We ended up doing a deal. It took a little bit of negotiating, but the deal actually happened. So here's what I want you to actually take away from that story. And you can copy that framework and use it. I call it Bridging the Gap framework. Stop presenting. If you find yourself presenting too early or too often, start asking those two questions. Where are you at right now? Why is that important? What's the impact of that? How's that feel? Get crystal clear on where they are and how that's impacting their lives or what they do with their time or what they worry about. Where do you want to be and what that would feel like? And then take the entire context of your presentation, what you can do and how you can do it, and put it in the context of bridging that gap in between where they are and where they want to be. What you'll notice is the conversation, it changes drastically, and it simplifies everything. And that will get you out of that stalemate and move any deal forward that should be moved forward. Now, if this resonates with you, if you found some value in this video and that quick tip or strategy, please share it with others who you think might get some value out of it as well.